warm welcome to day 4 of the Tour of Poland, the second longest stage today of the event. 242 kilometres in all ahead of the field at today's start at Konichi, destination Poznan. So that's how we got underway, and here is our route heading south, as you can see. And once again through mainly the flatlands. A lot of canoeing going on in the area, more on that later, but we're on the bikes today. There was one climb that's already been completed, but the news is that two men have simply just left everyone behind. They are being wound in at the moment. It's Quick Step who are out there trying to wind them in, but the leading pair, it's Liquigas' Maurinho Antonio Fischer and his fellow 28-year-old, albeit from the Gerolsteiner outfit, Sebastian Lang. Their maximum break was around 18 minutes, but and here they are as if by magic. There's Lang, a former time trial champion from Germany back in 2006. They were 18 minutes leading. I can tell you that has been trimmed dramatically. Our last read was 12:25, but I think it's even narrower than that now, and it's about 10 minutes 20. So behind them, they really are. The Quick Step boys have really set about trying to close this gap. And I have to say, David, that Gerolsteiner's Lang here, and indeed Fischer, they don't look full on it here. I think they've done their job as far as the sprints and indeed today's only climb, third category, and I think they're easing off just a little.
Yes, but they've still got to keep the pressure going, because interesting with David Kopp second on general classification by just 1 second from Gerolsteiner by sending their man down the road. A good tactic as far as they're concerned, because that takes the pressure off them. They haven't got to do any chasing at all. It means Quickstep have got to do all the work. If you've got, say, 2 teams or 3 teams without a man down the road or in contention quite close like they are at the moment, then they have to share the work. But right now, Gerolsteiner says, OK, over to you, lads, because we've got a man down the road. It's up to you. The good tactics from Gerolsteiner to send that back down the road. That's why Quickstep have got to work out. Now, Graham Brown is lying third on GC at the moment, also by 1 second back. But again, they're sprinter specialists. They won't want to do anything to pull back a breakaway to get towards the end. So this has played right into the hands of Gerolsteiner. And if I was the boss of Quickstep at the moment, I'd be spitting nails. They've got a lot of work to do then, Quickstep, and that's what we're seeing. And it's going long all day in the saddle. Thank goodness they haven't got a thumping great headwind, because they would really be eyeballs out and struggling by the time we got to finish.
Yeah, they would. There's various riders have tried to just get off the front here. We're just looking at, is that Bobby Ulich? Yeah, it is Bobby Ulich from Team CSC, just dragging along the Quick Step boys at the moment. They're keeping up clearly a much quicker pace about it. It was a dramatic finale yesterday, if you were watching us, in Gdansk. We saw the speeding peloton. They did wind in the sprinters once again, but they went the wrong route coming into town and came face to face with a parked police car blocking their path. Amazingly, David, nobody was hurt. We're hoping for a cleaner run home today.
Yes, I think, mind you, we've got these laps, haven't we? So at least they can practice the first time round and clear anything out the way.
Yes.
It's quite a big loop too as well, so no doubt about it. They've got to settle down. I think the short, sharp circuit they had the other day, which was only about 5-6 kilometres, they didn't like that one. Much longer circuit round now, so they get more chance to get themselves sorted.
Yes, these loops, they are starting to spread out just a little bit. What lays ahead of them is twice round a 12.2 kilometre loop in Poznan. And, well, we will hope that it's a little bit quieter and than it was yesterday. It was the police and everyone else getting it in the way of things, it seemed. One of the route markers had sent the peloton the wrong way, and all of a sudden there was a police car parked right across the road. And I was amazed, to be honest, David, that anyone got by it, but they did safely, thank goodness.
Just show the professionals of these bike rides, don't they? Because they're looking at the wheel in front, they're trying to keep the gap closed, and they're looking, and they can't see much beyond there. The way in which they all suddenly followed each other around and got out of trouble, that was quite remarkable. Showed how good they were. So then, well, 2 rounds about 12 kilometres will be different today. But interesting, by the way, going into Poznan, it was the first time in the first Tour of Poland in 1928 that they had a stage finish here. So it goes back an awful long time in the Tour of Poland. With 1928, it's been around for an awful long time now. It's a so-called Bill Goat town, by the way, Billy Goat, and we're going to have a look, I think, at the town hall clock when we get there, and have a look at the old Billy Goat up there. That's a long way to go yet. There's a long stage in the saddle, and I think probably the same tactic. Catch them close towards the end.
Well, I think they're going to catch them quicker than that, David, because they're now only 8 minutes and 20 behind, and so they really are powering into them here. 18 minutes was the length of the escape. Some interesting time differences at the top of the general classification, you have to say. It's Wouter Wieland who is our leader. He's from Quick Step, so you can imagine why they are more than keen to get back at these two as quick as possible, David. He's only a 1 second lead ahead of David Kopp, who won yesterday's stage.
Yes, that's so. And if they pull it back again, it could be down to the sprint finishes and the time bonuses to sort the thing out. I've got a suspicion that's what's going to happen. But with a much better run-in than we've had in previous days, I'm just wondering what's going to happen to Graham Brown, because he was all over the place yesterday. That trouble had to go in there. He made up a lot of ground, didn't he, towards the end?
Huge. Finished on the podium.
Absolutely amazing how he came thundering through towards the end. So I think he'd have a few scores to settle today. Let's just watch and say well done to these two riders here,
yes.
Carlton, because they've been out there all day long, and they're looking back now, and they'll have a few words with their mates. They come. In fact, look, he's looking over to see where his Gerastana team is. He's seen him on the far side. He's going to join him with the Gerastana. Here we are. The attacks are coming.
It's already happened, David. And the reason is that the rest of the front boys were actually starting to look at those they were absorbing. They haven't seen them all day. They've been as much as 18 minutes away, and all of a sudden, bang, they're off and running here, and their legs are warmed and they're ready for this sprint. This won't be the definitive one, you can be sure of that, but it's going to be a good breakaway here. And I think, to be honest, we were saying that we're so widely spread as well, David, that they're having to draw it out to get their teammates round and out from the back here.
I don't think those two riders are going up at the moment. I've got the power. I haven't got the power. This has to congeal, and either this first congeal or the third congeal is when somebody has to go. They'll come back together now. There may be another couple try the same tactics, but it'll be probably the third one, not this next one, but after that when they come back. And I would think certainly when you talk about Discovery Channel, one guy who, if he's got his head together, by the way, Stephen Cummings, as a pursuiter, a world-class pursuiter, that sort of rider is one that can go down and power away and might pull somewhere. Nibali from Liquigas, again, we saw him the other day, very keen to go and have a go for it with about 3-4 Ks to go. So this early on, not a lot will happen. They may be still sorting out like we saw there, but the real power boys will start to go within about 3 Ks of the finish, I think.
Yes, Danilo Napolitano from Lamprey. He was the one whose foot came out of his pedal clip yesterday. And, well, I think he would love, I have to say, to got a lot of criticism because of that. Just couldn't help it. He was just putting too much in, literally pulled his own foot out of the clip cleat, as it were. And, well, we'll see how they manage. Quick Step certainly at the moment have been bossing most of the front. Coming through the woodland section, they've got to go through all of these beautiful trees around the Central Park here in Poznan. And then once they come clear of this, very briefly, they cross over the railway line, and then it is that huge boulevard. And you can see, David, they really are starting to hit the metal here. The sprinters have started to move their way, edge their way to the front. Whichever team needed to just hold up the nose of the peloton here have done so. This is going to be one cracking run in.
Interesting to see De Luca's beginning to move forward here in the white jersey, leading on the Pro Tour Series, and still the lead-out men are doing a lot of work, taking over, keeping the sprinters just a little bit behind. But certainly De Luca, if it slows down a bit, I think he and I saw Nibali also begin to move up a little bit toward the front of the Liquigas team. And if they slows down a bit, I wouldn't be surprised that we're going to have a little bit. They're looking over the shoulder. See, with only maybe 2 or 3 lead-out guys to do the work, there's not enough depth in some of the big races where you get lots of riders just leading out one sprinter. Then they just control the race for a long time. But with this race, we've got a mixture of sprinters, and we've got a mixture of riders who are going to do well on Friday and Saturday when they get the lumpy bit. So it's not that easy to control it with the same number of men on the front. They're in dribs and drabs.
I was impressed by De Luca, I have to say. He may be Pro Series leader, but over the last couple of days, he's been working so hard for his Liquigas team without any sort of thought for himself. He's been picking up the baton and leading them out, and there's a whole group of them around him now. Don't expect De Luca to actually feature at the end of this one in the sprint, but he's certainly doing his portion of the donkey work, if you like, trying to set up possibly Nibali for the run for home, and maybe Bodnar as well.
We shall see then, because looking back on the left-hand side, similar tactic. Look at the white jersey on the extreme left-hand side. This is Francis de Jure. They're very good at doing this thing, waiting for it to slow down. Sandy Cazar is very good at waiting for it to slow down and then starting to go for it. So don't let write them off either at the moment, because I think they're very careful. See on the left-hand side, the white jersey begin to come up toward the front. If it slows down, they're the sort of riders, those lads from Francis de Jure, to just fire off down the road. And this is particularly sort of tactic. Sandy Cazar would love that.
And here come Lamprey. They're gathering feathering themselves as well. Look at that, the pink and blue on the right of your screen, Liquigas on the other side, and bang in the centre it's the Quick Step boys. They're all locked together here. Astana not out of it either by any means, and don't even ever count out Crédit Agricole as well, although they're possibly saving themselves to the mountains. Everyone trying to get themselves into a decent position here. The railway line comes and goes, and I think they may have to cross it one more time before we get back onto the big boulevard. Here comes the switch around then, and more long lazy curves as they go through the forest, and then the pace is going to start to get picked up because that flat boulevard, David, there's no hiding place out there. Everyone is going to know the position of everyone else. There's so many options in the run-in, but it's an absolute leg killer, that one.
It is, but also to the hiding place. So yellow jersey is hiding maybe about 15, 17 from the front here. His teammates have been doing the work on the front, and rather than sitting on their wheel, which would mean he'd have to come through and do something, he's been like, you just see the yellow jersey hovering in there, riding in that yellow jersey. His teammates are doing the work. He's not on their wheel. He's just finding another wheel to stay on, so he can stay very close in towards what's happening. So Wouter Wegeland, he's only got 1 second bonus over Kopp Gerolsteiner coming into the stage today. Graham Brown back, also 1 second back, so he's hovering back there, looking. I think he's probably looking out for Kopp and Graham Brown and letting his teammates do the work to keep the speed up right now.
Well, super job they're doing amongst the Quick Step crew as well. They're holding off, they're holding off, they're holding off. They keep bursting away. You can see the yellow jersey bang in the centre there as the Liquigas boys start to pick up the pace here and start to take the nose. There's going to be 3 men leading out here for Liquigas. And who, you may ask, are they working for? Well, De Luca perhaps, but it is Nibali who's going to be their sprinter of choice, one would think. And suddenly the response comes as well from Lampre. This is a long lead in, as we say. You can't make an escape without humongous effort here, because everybody gets a great view of you and just tries to wind you in and hold you back, hold you back, hold you back, and then just get 3 in a line to try and slingshot the sprint specialist straight towards the line here, Dave.
No, they haven't. So what they were hoping for is that they could split the field and let him go. They're not going fast enough, or sorry, slow enough to burst on the far side. That's not working in their favour. So I think we're going to have to write them off. It's not that there isn't a sort of sharp left-hand, right-hand bend to allow one man to go on his own. They're just keeping the pace of the moment. I think it's larger than to keep out of trouble and don't have any crashes, any falling off. So I think they're probably saying, no, let's go there, let's go fairly quickly, and we'll just ride in towards the finish. But it's not going to slow down. Nibali can't go for it. Nobody's slowed it down at all. So on the far left, it looks like Gerolsteiner. No, it's Bouygues Telecom. Yes, Bouygues Telecom. Don't start. Look at the speed on the old speedometer right now.
Yeah, 45 kilometres an hour, and it's Predictor Lotto as well are also coming into this one. Former mountain bike Dario David Cioni as well. He's towards the front, number 101, and the rest of the pack here. And there is Sebastian Lang taking a well-earned huge chug on the water bottle here. And look here out front, there is Daniel De Luca. I'd be very surprised if he features in the sprint towards the end of this one. He is the Pro Series leader. Maybe they're working for him. We'll wait and see as just nearest to us, the Lotto boys just start to try and get into formation. There's 5 of them there in the front vanguard, and round on the outside, Predictor Lotto have another crack here. This is great stuff. I told you this boulevard is going to be an absolute nightmare. They're all jostling for positions, trying to find a route through, and at the moment, nothing's revealing itself to them.
This is paying straight into the hands of the out-and-out sprinters like Mr. Graham Brown. He must be sitting in there in the middle of the lot, licking his lips and waiting for this lot to keep up the same sort of speed all the way through. Absolutely superb. Other teams are trying to do it, but they're also trying to do it for some good reason, you see, because if there's a touch of wheels and you crash here, then you'll lose time. The thing is, within the last 3 kilometres, then they're all giving themselves to go across.
There is Wegeland. He's making a kick for it, trying to just get himself back into position. Yeah, he's going to track back to his friends there. He was just shy of the Quick Step boys. There's a couple of them around him. Oh, just a little bit of jostling. Centre of the pack there. They're moving over, trying to find a way through here, David. And, well, contact always a danger.
We are virtually at a point now where every man for himself. He saw a gap opening up there and he slotted into it then, because there are people we see, they're running out of steam, they're going backward, they're opening up little gaps when they come through, and you, with the yellow jersey, you've got to find the gap, stay in the gap, stay in the wheel, move in there. Don't go too far back, because if there are crashes and so on right now, you're going to lose time, because do bear in mind, going to stage today, we've got 10 riders within 10 seconds of each other on GC, and a whole watch of other riders going back down within that 10-second bonus. So this leader's jersey with 10 seconds bonus is still very much up for grabs, because even if one of the riders back here in the main pack got away, and those right in the top 10 were in the main pack, he would still be up there with that 10-second bonus anyway. There's a lot at stake. No wonder it's every man for himself right now.
Liquigas trying to get a few. Rabobank doing exactly the same. It's just been closed down. They've been swallowed up at the moment. At the point, it's Lamprey pushing very, very hard indeed, and being chased down by Astana and the rest of the crew here. And look, Quick Step suddenly try and find it, and Lamprey drift over. Cross Quick Step's move here. They're trying to come through and support the yellow jersey. Can't quite manage it at the moment. Over the railway line they go, and the run for home is about to approach, David.
It is, and I say it's still penny numbers. The riders at the back here quite thankful to hang on and just stay with it and come in with the same time. They've all go through that
here we go
towards the finishing line with overlapping the wheels. They're all given the same time. You can't sort of count the seconds back, because it may be something like about 5 to 8 seconds just covering, or even 10 seconds from front to back in the race. They all give the same time, providing the wheels overlap. The 3 kilometres to go. This is the point. If anybody crashes within here, they're going to give them the same time as the leaders. So let's hope nobody crashes. Good running this time. Best we've had so far.
Yes, there is the Golden Arch that will signal to everybody as if they needed to know. 3 kilometres still to go then, and it's the dive for home. There's a lot of more technical stuff to come as they do make this drive. There's one very, very big, sort of, thankfully, very, very wide left-hander, and then a jink right as they suddenly get onto that start-finish straight. The start, as it was, of this double loop around Poznan, but it will be the finish this time by, and everybody knows it. Everyone's checking out for everyone else within their team, and they're all getting into position here. This is going to be one heck of a run for home. T-Mobile are there. Lamprey are on the point at the moment. Astana running wide, and where is Rabobank? Big questions being asked about them. It's opening up for Liquigas on tight on the inside here. Nobody can call it just yet, but they're running out of kilometres, and they're having to get into position right now.
And Graham Brown will be sitting on the fastest wheel he can find right now. And so yet again, Gerolsteiner starting to wind this one up then for David Kopp, who got the victory yesterday. He's hovering back now behind the T-Mobile squad. T-Mobile have Ciolek, who got a couple of victories in the Tour of Germany recently, and he's a very useful, fast rider indeed. And this sort of smooth, big running will probably suit him. He's a great, powerful rider, is T-Mobile rider Ciolek, and let's see if he can actually survive this time and go for it.
Well, watch out for Balan, watch out for Napolitano, who got so wounded yesterday, pride-wise. 1 kilometre to go, and Lamprey have hit the front, and they're dropping riders off one after the other, but they've got 2 in the vanguard here, and they're taking the point right now. They're weaving as much as they can, trying to lose riders, can't quite do it. There's a lot of legs at stake here. Euskaltel also, and look at Rabobank, here they come, and is it Graham Brown? Will Graham Brown make the punch here? There's 2 of them there together. Graham Brown and De Groot has worked so hard for him, so has Boven here, and the line is rapidly approaching. We're running out of meters here, David.
It's going down to be at the moment between Lamprey then with Balan and Baldato going for this one, and certainly Graham Brown is in a good position, but can he come off the wheels? Now, in fact, his teammate has pulled off the front, and Graham, I can't see where he's gone to in this.
Graham's locked in, he's trying, he's using his elbows, he can't get clear, David.
In, and the gaps aren't going to open up, so again it looks like this is going to be certainly Lamprey going for this one. Lamprey thundering up towards the finishing line. Are they going to get what they worked for yesterday? And they have. Surely. No, Ciolek's on the inside. Ciolek's on the inside.
Oh, and they've gone down. Lamprei's gone down at the line.
Ciolek's gone down. Ciolek was in the inside. And
so was Wayland, the leader. Wayland just hugs the hoardings there, left of your screen, and burst at the end. And guess what? It was a pedal on the hoarding that brought him down there, David. Exactly as you said, as predicted. And that looks nasty. It looks nasty. They're staying down. They will do. They'll be winded desperately down there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. One of the Quick Step wearing riders just stopping over there. Oh. What about that, David? Well, I hate to say we predicted it, but we thought it might be a feature here. Look at the stance here. Watch the pedal. Bang! Well, it was as the pedal came down, he caught one of and who went down there as well for Rabobank? It wasn't Graham Brown, was it?
I don't know, but the thing is, again, they're crashing into those legs. They aren't as bad as the other legs. They're slightly sloping, but certainly there are legs there, but they're slightly sloping. And in fact, that's his Brown's gone down. Further back, he switched, I think.
Yeah, he did. He switched over the side, and we're hearing that it was a spectator. I don't think so, to be honest, that touched one of the riders. I think it was the pedal that came down.
Wayland's.
Yeah. Well, going across the line on your backside, let's take a look at it here from the upper angle here. Take a look at this. Oof. Well, I think they got a pedal onto one of the barriers there. I don't think it has anything to do with the spectator. And there you see the yellow jersey being brought down as well across the line. Nightmare stuff, but great news for Lampre, who actually took that there, David. I didn't get a name on the driver that did it. Was it Napolitano making up for yesterday?
I don't know. Oh my goodness.
Well, it's we did warn about those barriers and the hoardings which are supposed to cover the feet, and you were saying quite rightly, David, that as the pedals come down, it's number one. It was Napolitano. Absolutely. Well, so there it is. I thought he would battle back from yesterday's disappointment when he got the toe clip out, and that's exactly what happened. But we take no pride in that, because our concerns, of course, are for the riders who are down here. Incidents are plenty throughout the Tour of Poland, and unfortunately this time those barriers have got the better of us.